I'm Abhijit, a final year medical student from GMC Nagpur, and with the help of a lot of research articles and reference books, I'm going to tell you how to rewire your brain for a better performance. Learning rewires your brain. You know, when we try learning a new skill like playing guitar, learning chess, learning how to cycle, etc., you literally rewire your brain on a deeper level. On the contrary to common belief that our brain stops growing at 25 years, science has shown us that our brain is incredibly plastic. That basically means no matter what age you are, you can actually transform your neurocircuitry to become better. But how does it really work? To perform any kind of task, we need to activate a certain portion of your brain. For example, right here, while talking to you and giving you a good enough presentation, I need to activate my motor cortex, my visual and auditory memory, my verbal skills, and so on. If you look at one of my first videos, I might feel stiff and awkward. But as I practiced, it got smoother and more fluent and more natural and comfortable. What practice is really doing is optimizing my brain to coordinate for this set of activities. This is where the process of myelination comes. A lot of you know a little bit of neuroscience that our brain is made of gray matter and white matter. Gray matter has neuron cell bodies and white matter has the axons of the neurons. These axons conduct electricity and that's how our brain functions. Now let's get a little bit of a deeper understanding. The axons, that is white matter, fills about 50% of our brain. You know what gives it the white color? That is myelin, a fatty tissue. It covers the axon that extends out of the neuron. And scientists have found out that the more myelinated a neuron is, the faster it works by a theory of saltatory conduction. Myelination basically strengthens our neurons by asking the electrical impulses to skip from one point to another. Okay, now we know that myelin makes our brain faster. How to get more and more of this myelin on our axons? First of all, myelination occurs naturally during our childhood. Kids are like a myelin generating machine that soak up all the information from the outside world and learn a lot of new skills in a very short amount of time. As we grow older, the myelin generation gets slower and slower and slower. So let's skip a few points and talk about how practice makes myelin. You have already heard the phrase called practice makes a man perfect. I'll say practice makes more myelin. Let's take an example of writing. When you first started it, you could not even hold a pen in your hand. Eventually, through practice of years and years, you can now write faster. If you practice more and more, your handwriting will get more fluent and aesthetic. You know that, right? So the quantity of practice is important to improve your skill. I'll say the quality of practice is important as well. Practicing myelinates our axons. If we practice poorly and do not correct our mistakes, those wrong axons will be myelinated and those wrong habits will stick. While practicing, you need to have laser focus on the task you are doing. So multitasking is a no-go. The more you try to do things, the less you accomplish. In the science of deep work, neuroscientists have been trying to understand the physical mechanisms of how people improve on the task at hand. By focusing specifically on the intended task, you are focusing the circuitry of that relevant task to fire again and again and again. So that circuitry is getting more and more used. So that circuitry is getting myelinated faster and faster. And so that task is improving bit by bit every time you practice. Now let's just say that you are low on concentration and while reading a book, for example, while reading community medicine, you are checking on your Instagram as well. What will happen? With the neurons that understand the community medicine and learn it, the neurons that are reading through Instagram are also getting myelinated. If you're trying to learn a complex new skill with low concentration, you're firing multiple circuits haphazardly. So your brain doesn't isolate the neurons that you want to strengthen. It's the same as working out in gym. The more practice on a muscle you do, the muscle gets more and more powerful, right? So what have we learned up till now? We learned that myelin is the key to the neurological theory of success. Focusing intently can trigger the same neuronal pathway again and again. And because of that, there will be myelin formation which will cement that skill. Shallow work means low concentration, means multiple circuits firing, means no myelin. So when you work, work hard. When you focus, focus only on one thing. That is the only surefire scientific way to get success. Remember this and believe in yourself and keep looking at that bigger picture. Now you know how to rewire your brain. So sit tight, study hard and crack that exam. Subscribe to this channel and keep waiting for the new videos. See ya.